Would you like to improve your video quality on YouTube? Got some simple ideas of ways that, yeah, we can definitely help you out with that.
Hey, it's Scott Christopher once again along here with Nate Woodbury talking about improving YouTube video quality. Is that what you're talking about? If I want to make things look better, sound better, that kind of quality, or content quality, or all of it?
Yes.
Wow. All right, where do you want to start?
Well, to make your videos better, this is actually a question that I got from Cora, and you have to know, like, okay, where are you starting from? So it's like, to make yourself better, it really depends on where you're starting from.
Okay.
You know, so if you're at point A,
yeah, and
you want to get to point Z, it's like, you want your videos to be better than what?
Oh, why do you want to improve them? What is there to improve on? Is there a benchmark that you set and you go, this is where I want it to be, but it's not? Are you saying that you're comparing to someone else, or just to what your own vision of?
So this question comes from Cora. Somebody asked me, asked the question, how do I improve the quality of my videos on YouTube? So the first thing I have to know is, I don't know where they're at. So it's like, if they want to improve, okay, where are you starting from? Because you can make some improvements here to here to here. I mean, how far up the scale do you want to go?
Well, let's just generally say somebody's videos blow chunks. Let's just say their quality is in the crapper.
Okay,
Can we
so
say that?
Before we talk about production quality, yes, you can say that.
I mean, let's just start there with like the worst videos we've ever seen.
So if yours are just terrible, your videos are lousy, you're not getting any views, that's what we're going to assume your videos are like.
Let's just say we're starting with this one. This is where we're starting.
Yeah, if your video's like this.
But
we look good, though.
But the difference is, technically, we are starting right now, technically, at a fairly high level. Where others, perhaps, maybe their content, based on your own discretionary judgment, is better than this, but your technical starting point is lower, right? I mean, so let's just say I'm shooting on my own iPhone, right? So that's my starting point. I don't have multiple cameras. Hi, everybody. How are you? It's just me on an iPhone. And maybe I'm holding out my iPhone with my arm. There's my starting point. How do I improve that?
So before we even jump into that, I want to talk about one other thing,
right.
And that is your content. So
okay.
The biggest improvement that you can make to a video is the content.
Well, they say the story is everything. You know, script is everything, so to speak.
So if you're going to make a video like we are here talking about this, you know, you could plan it out. We could have. How could we ever improve this? I mean, we're so good.
We could have done teleprompting. You know, we could have
talked about it ahead of time.
Sure.
We've got some notes, but maybe I could have spent more time on those notes. You know, think about it from a viewer's point of view. What are they going to want to watch? You know, why are they going to want to watch your video? And that's
kind of your thesis statement, right? It's, I mean, or whatever. This isn't necessarily something you're going to argue, but it is the theme, the subject of the video. Why is someone typing that in and looking for it?
A common one, a lot of times on Quora, they'll say, why is my YouTube channel not doing well? Or why am I never getting any views? And I'll click on the link and I'll go check out their YouTube channel. And it's a guy playing video games or computer games. And he's not talking, he's just, you know, and why would I want to watch that? Right. You know, and there are very successful gaming channels. I don't really know any to recommend because I don't follow those.
Right.
But
my teenage son could tell you right away. Okay. There are some that millions of people watch.
There's a personality behind it. I guess I know that PewDiePie guy that I don't recommend because I checked his channel out to see what's all the rage, and he just cusses a lot and plays video games.
Yeah.
So, but there's a personality there. So put some personality into your videos. Create a story. Like, what are you going to show them? Are you just going to record a solid 2 hours of playing video games? Yeah. Or are you going to cut it down and just show the highlights? Are you going to teach somebody how to beat the Grandmaster?
Codes. Yeah, exactly. How I got into whatever room, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's good.
So anyway, I bring that up not because I'm an expert on gaming videos, but because that's what I see a lot of people ask about. So now let's get into some technical stuff. I actually had another point here. So this is a struggle that I've had. I've gotten better and better at video over the years, but when I'm by myself, I invited you to be on this channel with me. We're working on some projects together. Yeah. And the fact that you and I can have a conversation together makes it a lot more entertaining.
Oh, I agree.
I've had some great feedback already. And
really? I didn't hear any. They have to do with me?
I don't share it with you.
Heaven forbid.
No, people have said, like, I really like the format. It's really fun to watch.
Well, and I think, and I agree, because I've seen others that are like this, and the fact that you have a sounding board, and it drives the conversational tone, it makes it feel authentic and real, which it is.
Mm-hmm.
But if it were just Nate Woodbury talking to camera, you might be tempted to either A, teleprompt it, or B, not teleprompt it, and really sound awful. You know what I mean? But either way, it's not a conversation. It's just not natural and real. And I think most people find that's far more engaging, perhaps.
And I try and pick topics. I have a channel. Scott has a channel. So on this channel, I pick topics that I'm the expert on.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I try and pick topics and phrase it up in a way where it's things that you could act as the audience.
Right.
And so if I'm by myself, I don't have somebody here just like, well, I don't even know what that word means. What does aperture mean? I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me explain that. Or
yeah.
So it's great to have person there.
Another person to bounce things off of and to kind of help fuel the conversation.
So maybe you could consider that, inviting somebody else to be in the videos with you. Okay, now let's talk about
the technical,
the production quality.
Yeah.
All right. So that word that I just mentioned, aperture, when I wanted to up my game with video, and that's actually. It wasn't this phone, it was a previous version, the iPhone 4S. For a year, I filmed on the iPhone 4S professionally, meaning people paid me.
Right.
I set up a studio, I had the lighting, the white backdrop, I was filming with a teleprompter, and I was using my iPhone because it got the job done.
Why not?
I figured out how to use it the right way to get the
it had
quality I wanted.
A chipset sufficient to make it look like professional video, yeah.
But then I saw some video that had the background blurred, and I wanted to learn how to do that.
Yeah.
And I learned about DSLR, and I learned about aperture and different lenses, and how when you have a higher quality lens. And so I bought a DSLR camera. I bought a high-end lens, the lens that we're looking at right there, or on this camera right there for his face, have very high apertures or wide apertures. Now that, we're not going to go into a tutorial on that,
sure.
But I chose to upgrade my camera because that's the type of look that I wanted. And for my clients as well, I wanted to be able to blur that background, because just doing that simple thing really up-levels or upgrades the professionalism.
I agree.
Of the
Yeah. Just tiny little tweaks that make it that much more professional looking. And it doesn't come cheap. I mean, these improvements, that particular improvement is an investment of a couple $1,000s to get that look. But
yeah, on this specific camera right here, the camera is a $1,200 camera. It's the Canon 80D. That's kind of a funny name.
But that's just the body, right? Oh yeah, it is.
It's the 80, as in the number D. Yeah, that's just the body. And then the lens itself, we're using a 24 millimeter, which is a fairly wide angle, and to get a high aperture of 1.4 on that wide of a lens, it's a $1,500 lens.
Yeah.
So,
the lens is more than the body, which just goes to show you that's really all an iPhone camera is. It's kind of a body. It's really it's the chipset with a very standard, digital zoom.
And they
whereas
try
with these lenses, the SLRs, you have analog zoom. And it literally magnifies. So
this lens is a prime lens, meaning it can't zoom at all, and yet it's still $1,500.
Oh, this doesn't zoom?
It doesn't zoom. It's just I just got it because it's got the wide aperture and can really blur the background.
That's cool.
But you can change lenses.
Right.
Anyway, so on this one, on the phone here, they pack like 5 lenses in there somehow, and it's a genius invention.
It is, for sure.
But they're still coming at. Anyway, some of the cameras have like two different cameras, and they'll try and do a
composite.
Yeah, that will blur the background, but it's not quite. It's better for photos, but it's not there for video yet.
Right. Yeah, it's still a phone, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, I'm 51 years old. To me, a phone is a phone.
I've never heard you say your actual age. You just say, I'm getting up there.
Oh.
Now you heard it.
Hey! And I still look younger than Nate.
All right, I've got another idea. And I've seen a lot of people do this, and I've tried it myself. It's talk while you walk. So, you could hold your camera out in front of you, or have, like I use my Gorilla Pod, so a funny looking thing with the camera on it.
Yeah.
And you're just walking while you talk to the camera. So instead of having it on the tripod and just talking to it, sitting there still, you can try just walking around.
Just to give it some energy, some motion.
And I've done this with my clients as well on the glide cam, where I'm holding the camera facing them, and I'm steady, and I'm walking backwards as they follow me and they talk to the camera. It keeps things interesting. A video that I'm thinking of where I first saw this on the channel Veritasium, Derek Moeller. It's actually his second channel, where he just has things to talk about. They're not as planned. He doesn't travel anywhere. He's just sharing some ideas, and he'll be in an interesting place, like a city or something. And so he's just walking around talking to the camera, and because there's interesting things and people and noises in the background, he can just talk for 10 minutes, but it kept the video a lot more entertaining.
But what's crucial to that is the steadiness, is to keep it a nice, smooth shot, having some kind of gimbal or, like you're saying, a glide cam, some apparatus, so that it's not distractingly shaky or chintzy
this
looking.
For some reason is more difficult, even if you've got some type of a selfie stick or something. Like, test it out and see if you can hold it steady.
And also with that, if you are stuck with just holding your hand out, you can jack up the frames per second, which will tend to smooth out the overall shakiness. I've used that before, even shooting 4K, right, where I'm kind of doing it with my hand and I know I'm kind of shaking. Then I play back later, and it tends to remove some of that because there's so many.
I just got the new GoPro Hero 6 Black. It's in my bag, or that's
I'm looking down over there. Yeah.
It's got a higher level of image stabilization that came with it. So I hook it to my chest when I go mountain biking, and so I'm rattling all over the place. And I've tried it for different. Anyway, it's really good.
It's pretty smooth.
Yes, you can like shake the thing around, and it pretty much stays steady.
I'm telling you, the taking away the shaky is a huge way to up the quality of your videos for sure.
Okay, so now I want to talk about lighting. And all I'm going to say about lighting is, after you watch this video, go up in the search bar here on YouTube and type in, how to fix my lighting or good lighting for photography. Photographers are really good at making an image look good and then just translate it to video. Then you hit record. But find a simple lighting tutorial. But the simple advice that I could give you is put light in front of you, not behind you. We've got some soft lights aiming at the front of us. We've got light on the ceiling there. We've got some cool colored lights behind us. But if we had a bright window behind us, that doesn't turn out so good.
That would wreck everything.
You can face a window and aim a camera at you, or kind of, if the window's right here and I'm looking at a camera this way, you can kind of put some cool shadows on your face. But experiment with that. Just upping your game with lighting will really enhance the professionalism, the quality of your videos. And the lights that we have here, man, I have a set. I've got dozens of these soft boxes. We're using 5 right now. You might only need 1. You can get a set of 3 of these. I'll put a link in the description or something.
I think with a 51-year-old, the more lights, the merrier.
You can get a set of these 3 soft boxes for $140 on Amazon. So they last forever. I've used them for years, and I've just increased my.
It's great. No, it looks good. Very professional.
All right, now we're going to talk about audio. And the mic that we're using right here, my finger is almost touching it. You just can't see it because it's on a boom and it's right out of the shot. It's a Zoom H2N. So team, cue the picture of the H2N right here. Hopefully you're seeing a picture of the H2N. Now, I own the H1N, and I use it because it's small and it's compact. I use it when I attach a lapel mic to my shirt. I have the H4N, which is more robust.
I've heard that. That's the big name one. The H4N.
It's overkill for me. I'm actually going to see if I can return it or sell it because I want another H2N.
Well, the 2 of those equals a 4.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Math whiz.
You can plug in through an XLR connection 2 microphones at the same time and record in stereo, or 2 different people.
Well, an H4N is kind of the iconic, like the 2 mics that sort of point at
all of them do. This has it that way inside.
But it's inside the case.
Inside, yeah.
Oh, okay.
See, I know you can't see what we're pointing at.
It just looks more, but I like the look and feel of this one more than the H4N.
So anyway, highly recommend the H4N. Now, it records to
H2N.
I said on purpose to see if you guys were paying attention.
Testing me.
So I highly recommend the H2N for external audio. Now it records to an SD card. So my camera here, it's got a shotgun mic, but we're a little ways away, and so the audio isn't going to be near as good as this.
Right.
So when you pull the video into your editing software, you'll see the waves from the audio that came with the video.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then you'll see the waves from this, and you can line them up. Most programs have an auto sync feature, so that's why we put in a clap sometimes in the video, and there'll be a spike so you can line them up. It's really, really easy. It might sound complicated, but once you've done it once, you're like, oh, well, that's pretty easy. And that's definitely a way of upping your video production quality for YouTube. Now, there's one other thing that I wrote here that I actually wanted to go back to and talk about kind of the structure of your content. And so this will kind of be a bonus to wrap up. If you do this, your videos will get better results. You'll have longer watch time. You'll have more people to actually watch the video all the way through versus just clicking on it and then leaving. So one is the intro. Make sure that the first thing that you talk about is letting them know why they're here, what they're going to experience.
Right.
So if they saw a title that says, how to eat green potatoes, that's just the first thing that came to my mind.
Okay.
Then when you start the video, it's like, hey, today we're going to talk about and show you how to eat green potatoes. Sounds like a good
That's
video.
in the introduction.
Yeah.
Right. Good.
Because especially if it's something, if somebody searched for a video and they found, they searched for a topic, they found your video, they hit play, and you just start, randomly talking about things, or it's like, I thought he was going to show me how to eat green potatoes.
Yeah.
So you want them to know that they found what they're looking for. But then you can also give them a hook. We call it a hook. Is like, so let me give you an example with that silly potato. Okay. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to eat a green potato, and if you watch to the end, I'll actually show you how to eat a purple potato as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
Right.
Then we might break for a video logo. You don't have to. But then you come back into the content and you make your content good, and then you do the purple potato thing at the end.
Deliver on your promise.
That's just a little simple thing, but by putting an introduction like that or starting your video with that, you'll get a lot more people to actually watch. They'll stick around and they'll know that they found what they're looking for.
I mean, it's a fairly basic device for any kind of content, anywhere, really. You know what I mean? It's like, stay tuned. The heavyweight title bout is coming up next. And even when there's
that sounds more compelling than
90
a purple
commercials, and there's, all these other preliminary bouts, it's like, I thought they said it was next. It is. It's a hook. It keeps you coming. It keeps you there. When I worked in radio, we kind of worked with those all the time. Still to come, that new one from Gloria Stefan, and people that can't wait to hear it, they listen to 16 other songs, and then you finally give it to them. But at least they listened for all that time. And in your case, on YouTube, they're going to watch until they see it, or they fast forward to it.
If you're, this is another bonus. If you're doing a vlog or something exciting, you can take a few seconds of that exciting thing that happens later on in your video and just put it right at the beginning. It's kind of like a little teaser, and something's about to explode and you're getting excited, and then it cuts, and they're like, okay, today what we're going to do is set this up and see what happens. And you're like, whoa, that looked like it got pretty intense there. I'm excited to, and so you'll watch.
So basically what you're saying is that, all of these things that can increase quality and kind of heighten the experience for the viewer, it just takes a little extra effort and time. Mm-hmm. From an editorial standpoint, you've got to put in a little more time to do these things. You're going to be scrubbing more video to find those little clips or making a really cool thumbnail or whatever it is. I mean, all that stuff that makes this better, it takes more of your time, which is, of course, isn't an issue for you because, as we've talked about in other videos, he has people that do it for him.
Well, yeah. So with all these things, what I don't want you to do is to feel overwhelmed and think, oh, I can't get started because I've got to do all these things to start with the best production quality. I would start right now. Just make a crappy video, post it. Everyone, we'll talk about this in another episode, but everyone has to start somewhere. And you go back and look at the beginning days of all the successful YouTubers, their first videos were all crappy. So if you want to be successful, you got to start crappy. And then hopefully these are some tips of ways that you can up your game away from crappy to awesome.
Set the bar low for yourself, is what he's saying.
Anyway, hopefully you found this video helpful. If you did and you're new here, definitely hit subscribe. Got some more videos you can check out over there. And we'll see you tomorrow.